Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video brought to you by SeniorCatWellness.com. In today's material, we'll take a look at cats and their owners, and if felines over time can begin to mirror the behaviors of their owners. On the surface, we know this to be the case. We know this to be true, at least in terms of response. We've all seen the stories of a cat that is standoffish and downright mean due to a life of negative ownership. If an owner blatantly mistreats a cat, the cat will grow to live in constant fear and develop a strong hatred for people. Some cats will bite and claw your arm and hand, even if you reach out just to pet them. These reactions are in many ways mirrors of their negative owners. If you mistreat an animal for years, the animal will grow to reflect a negative and mean spirited personality. This is why it's always important to put your best foot forward, not only when you're dealing with your cat directly, but also indirectly. Cats will often attempt to match their environment, whatever it is, as self preservation is at the very top of the list. If the environment is toxic, then a cat will take on a toxic personality in order to meet the moment. Before we take an even deeper look at this very interesting subject, let's first explore today's topic overview. Cats do take on many of the personality traits found in their owners. They can even match your energy levels or mood, depending on how expressive you are. This usually happens when you play a key role during the cat's early socialization years. Since you are the primary person the cat is exposed to on a day to day basis, it takes its cues from you. If you're calm, orderly, and affectionate, the cat is likely to mirror that behavior. It's all fairly simple. In respect to our core topic question, your cat will mirror you in terms of your life pulse. At the core of who you are, your cat will adjust, over time of course, to meet that core standard. Here again, your pet is just trying to make it. Above all else, even before a true loving bond is formed, your cat is just looking out for a number one. So your pet has really no choice but to mirror you in many respects if it wants to fit in. Fire met with fire, and love met with love. And speaking of love, we love each and every one of you, and we thank you so much for visiting Senior Cat Wellness today. We thank you for your time, and we are truly grateful for your support. We hope you find today's video to be both helpful and enjoyable, and we hope to see you again down the road. Now, cats and owners, let's do it. An owner can have a massive influence over their cat, no question about it. We often use the child analogy around these parts, and here it is once again. If you're a parent, you know what I mean. You want to be at your best around your children. You always want to influence them in a positive way because you know they're very impressionable and you don't want them picking up negative habits from you. Cat ownership is very much the same, especially if you're taking care of a kitten. A kitten that's never had a previous home or previous experiences with people. You are the foundation, the ultimate learning tool, the make it or break it tool in many respects. If you love, your cat will likely grow to love. If you hate, well, that sweet kitten could grow in could grow to become Mr. Claw Your Arm, the cat we mentioned earlier. Claw your arm when you attempt to pet me. Yeah, that type of feline. That's no good. As an owner, you are actually, in many ways, you may not know it, but you actually wield a lot more power than you probably even realize as you are helping to shape your cat's behavior. Your cat will, in its very own way, mimic you. Cats learn from their surroundings instead of learning from the ground up through instruction, the way people typically learn. They learn from cues from mama cat and the cats around them, life in action. They learn how to live, the basics, just by watching other cats do it. This allows them to fend off predators, escape predators, locate food, etc. Cats also learn very, what we would consider very normal behaviors through cues, behaviors that we often look at cats and take for granted, very normal and extremely ordinary behaviors. Some examples of these behaviors include knowing the difference between play biting and real real attack biting. Cats learn it. They learn how to properly groom themselves, how to interact with other cats, and how to be tolerant of other felines, and even how to use a litter box. It's all about those cues. The longer the mom hangs around and the longer a kitten is around younger cats, the more information will be absorbed. So much of basic learning takes place without much, if at all, any human interaction. In respect to why cats copy actions, just general actions, the reason is quite clear. They copy what they're exposed to. This is why it quickly becomes so easy to see that if a cat learns how to properly groom by watching another cat, they'll learn how to properly love or hate by watching you, especially your direct actions with them. As a side note, being that we are senior cat wellness, why is it so hard to train an older feline and change certain behaviors? Well, because you're dealing with years of knowledge and established ways of doing things. If your senior cat has picked up something as a kitten and has been doing it for 18 years, hey, they're just like humans. Old habits die hard. Of course, the answer to this question is yes, but how deep does it truly go? And is it different for each cat and each owner? We've pressed upon this whole notion of if you're mean, then your cat's mean, that whole concept, but how true is it really? It is true that an unstable and chaotic home environment can put real stress on your cat. This type of environment can create a lot of uncertainty with your feline. Now, does that mean that your cat will slowly grow up to become the cat from Pet Cemetery? Probably not, but it's not out of the question. Negative behavior can take on all forms. Cats don't have to be violent to be what most folks would view as mean. Perhaps your cat just doesn't listen, almost taunts you in a way, sort of lives in its own world. Here again, stress and discontent can set in if a cat is living in a very unstable environment. And it should come as no surprise, sweet people, most of the time, usually have sweet cats. All the corny lines apply because, for the most part, they are indeed true. Structure is key. Keeping the peace is key. Having a joyful personality is key. Positive vibes. The more a cat can trust an environment, the more likely they are to be on their best behavior. It's critical to note that cats often act out because they feel like they have no other options. Mean cats certainly are not born mean. They are, however, a product of their environment, and as we've mentioned, looking out for a number one is the goal. This is why it is imperative to socialize with your cat between the ages of 2 to 7 weeks if your situation has presented you with this opportunity. While your pet will likely still be taking those cues from mom, you can use this time to expose your cat to a new world and to you. Your cat is much more likely to mirror your personality. Well, if you were the very if you're the very first human on the scene, they'll have nothing else to really go by. So put your best foot forward for your pet. It's much easier to show love to a kitten than it is to train an adult cat well to stop being mean. Your pet feline can say a lot about you. Allow your cat to put its best paw forward by being a good role model. And on that note, that will indeed close things out for the video side of life. However, if you'd like more information, we do encourage you to visit us at seniorcatwellness.com. At the conclusion of today's presentation, there you will find a full-length and highly detailed and high-quality article dedicated to everything we've spoken about today and so much more. Are you currently watching us off-site? If so, we invite you to click the initial link in the description box below. Said link will take you to all of the information. And until our paths cross again, and I certainly hope they do, we'd like to thank you once again for joining us today. Please have a wonderful day. All the best to you and yours, and we will talk to you later.